Now let's talk about the documentary Pulau Plastik or Plastic Island. First stream on Netflix in April 2021 as part of a campaign to reduce plastic waste in Indonesia. And we're joined today by the producer and co-creator of the movie to tell us further about the campaign and what's happening behind the screen. Welcome to Starting Point, Andre Dananjaya as a co-producer of Pulau Plastik and also Gede Robi as a co-creator. Hello, thank you for being here.
Morning.
Thank you. Morning.
Good morning, Andre and Roby. Okay, let's, for the first question, for those of them who haven't watched the Pulau Plastik, can you tell us in a simple words, what is Pulau Plastik, the documentary on Netflix, tells us about? Andre and then Roby. Go ahead, Andre.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Plastik is the one of Indonesia horror movie. So basically, we're talking about how the plastic waste issue has become major big crisis in Indonesia, but not only Indonesia, but it's more about the global issue. And from the through the Pulau Plastik, we want to give the message more strong using the movie version. So we hope everyone can be awake and respond to the situation. But for more detail, I think Rob will share what kind of the message we want to capture from the Pulau Plastik. Rob?
Okay, thank you, Andre.
Still mute, Rob, sorry.
How about you, Roby? In a simple words, what is Pulau Plastik for you?
Okay. The video is fine?
Yes,
Yes.
the video is fine.
Okay.
The audio is good?
Okay. The idea of Pulau Plastik is like raising the awareness. Actually, we understand that everyone is understand that reduce, reuse, recycle is the idea, but reduce is to promoting the government to release the regulation, and reuse is to invite the company or the corporates to redesign the packaging, and recycle is the last solution. And by combining these three solutions, hopefully the plastic issue can be tackled from the top to the bottom. And Pulau Plastik actually is also bringing the Indonesian pride as the one of the biggest maritime country, which is actually the microplastic has become a big threat for the our marine, and giving the understanding about the plastic issue is not only issue for Indonesia or Philippines or Malaysia or the developed country, but also is a global global issues that what we want to say in the Pulau Plastik is the recycle is actually is difficult to do, and then we have to start from the reduce first.
That's right. Now perhaps we go back to Andre. Andre, Pulau Plastik used to be a 20-minute series before, and now it has become a full movie under Netflix. How did it become a full movie now? Hello? Andre, can you hear my voice?
Sorry. Yes,
Okay.
so that's one of surprise during the campaign, because we believe that we have 4 episodes and we want to focus on the Balinese local community, because 4 episodes is explain more about the local, value from the Bali. And then after we publish our series, and one of the popular and very creative production house from Indonesia, Visinema, just came on board and saying like, why don't you just like make it the message more strong with using movie or cinema as a part of the communication tools. So yeah, I mean, Birobi and all the things, all the teams just being prepared to make the series become more wider public and audience. So that's why we choose movie as a part of the campaign tools as well. But again, this is kind of like the way how we're spreading the word, not only in local, but more global using a cinema. And then, yeah, after that, we launched the movie on 2021 at the cinema, and then it's huge, a lot of appreciation, not only from the community itself, from the government, from the private sector, and when it's coming into the Netflix, the words getting bigger and bigger. And the thing is, we hope what we already, trying to make all the solution based on the local can be distributed on the global area as well. So yeah, we're happy we're going to from the series to the movie.
Thank you, Andre, for mentioning that. It is getting bigger after it's been released in cinema and then it goes to the digital streaming platform like Netflix. Now, when the movie of Pulau Plastik is out, I want to know the message or the reactions that the community from Indonesia or the global people said about the movie itself, about the documentary. Can you both remember about any reactions or messages that they sent to you about the movie? Robbie and Andre. Robbie first. Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, actually, the collaboration in the Pulau Plastik is not also in the movie sector. Also, Copernic, the organization that we work, also doing a lot of research, pre and post for the audience about the awareness that they rise up before and then after the movie. So we have valid data about that one too, but with very limited questionnaire for the limited audience. But I think it could be represents the bigger audience, and the discussion actually before the pandemic, Bali is already become the first province to release the single-use plastic ban, and then when the Pulau Plastik just made, it only about 9 or 10 regency or city in Indonesia that release this regulation, single-use plastic ban, but now is about more than 100 city and regency already releasing the same regulation in the reduce part. But because the Pulau Plastik also believe about the change is only happen if there is a collaboration between the government, corporate, and the community. So some government in more than 100 city and regency in Indonesia already released the regulation to reduce. So we want to encourage also the corporate or the production or in the private sector to redesign to make it easy to reuse. And then I mean, recycle so far the last 10 years, everybody already focusing on recycle. And to make this recycle easier and then less pollutant as possible, I think we should start to the reduce and reuse first, and then make easier for the recycle, because recycle is kind of like curing the disease, yeah. But reduce is preventing the disease. So it's like the ideology, like the understand the more of our audience is after the watch the Pulau Plastik understand now. It's like an analogy, like if you see the problem, like a tap water running, and then Bali, Indonesia, or the world now already like a bucket under the running tap water is already overflow. So what we're doing now, like a cleaning, recycle, is like a mopping the floor from this overflow. So we want to promote also, hey, we have to make it balance. Reduce is what makes sense. It's like a close the tap first.
Right. I really like that
So,
analogy.
Yeah.
Yes, Robbie. I totally agree with that analogy, because usually we will hear people say you need to recycle the plastic waste, but actually what you said is very true, that it's actually more important to reduce the plastic waste.
Yes.
And I'm just adding a bit of this to this issue. I remember going to Bali during the pandemic, and I went to Legian Beach, and the beach was super clean, Eda.
Yes.
There was no plastic waste at all. And then like fast forward now, I mean, like I went to Bali again, and because the pandemic is over, like plastic waste is starting to show up again. And I think it's really important that we have to start, as you said, from the top, that is to create the awareness so that people actually reduce the use of the plastic waste. Now, I want to ask to Andre now. Andre, what challenges do you face during this filming? Can you take us behind the screen as to what you have seen when you were filming this documentary?
Yeah, I think this movie is made because one of Copernic initiative behavior change. So we want to give kind of like a treatment that solutions based that we can make it work as a part of to tackle the issue. So speaking about the challenges, a lot of fact that we found on the field, like because one of the things is we're trying to observe what kind of like food chain that already impact to our livelihood as a part of the single-use plastic issue. So one of the biggest challenges is quite hard to give more about how people can change the habit because if we're talking about the plastic, we're talking about the instant issues, we're talking about everything already being practical, something like that, and we want to change it and rethink again that plastic is not the only one, the solution. So other than that, another challenge is the way how we make sure that the after because this movie is being more powerful after the post production because we want to make sure this movie can be using for the education sector, the government as a part of their policy maker or the curriculum. So the biggest challenge is the way how make this movie can be a part of the synergy, like Robbie said before, between the private sector, the community itself, and the government. Other than that, technical things is nothing major because we work with very professional movie maker, Dandi Laksono. If you see a lot of his movie around Indonesia is very strong, and then with Choki Rahung Nasution, very very cinematic and very it's very powerful, strong, and there is no big challenge a part of the production during the production.
Okay, you mentioned about the production.
Collecting data is big challenge.
Yes, another things maybe the collecting data. So we cannot spill the scene, Lirop. I think they need to find out
Watch it.
in a movie, watch it. So if you want to know how are you already contained by microplastic or not from the faces, you should watch the Pool of Plastic.
Great marketing. Pull out plastic. Okay. Now, Andre is mentioning about the production. I want to ask the behind-the-scene memories to Robbie. Any behind-the-scene memories that you have came to cross to remember at this moment that you want to share? Because I know the behind the scenes of making a documentary is a fun story to tell. If you can tell to us some, Robbie, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like my personal memory, yeah. The others, the message is already in the film, but my personal memory is like, so the Pulau Plastik is like, there is one of the scene is reporting my travel, my journey from Bali, my house in Ubud, to Jakarta for 2 weeks. And then during the process, it's like the production team introduced me to a truck driver. His name is Harun, who they hired to take me on the truck, on his truck, from Bali to Jakarta. And then I know, hey, my name is Robbie, and then Arun. And then in the beginning, during the first trips, this guy is like it's nice guy, but sometimes like in the cars, like have a cigarette and then throw out of the window and slowly like approach. Hey, sure, we make a movie about waste management, so I bring the ashtray, like a pocket ashtray. Can you put it here?
Yeah.
And start. And then we stop in every location, every organization that doing the good job in the plastic issue, right? So, and then during the trip, we have a lot of discussion about the plastic issue. And then this driver, Harun, this guy, is just watching us and start to digest all the discussion that we have. And then in any spot that we stop by, I make a speech about this plastic issue, and we do the garbage collecting and visit some initiative. And he learned during the trip. And one day, when we stopped by, he opened his handphone and then Google, and then I tried to see like what he Google he searched. But actually, he is searching about the information about the update plastic. And in the end of the journey, in one pesantren in West Java, I gave a chance to him to speak in front of the people about the plastic issue. And actually, he speak clearly and better than I do. And now, after this trip, this truck driver is become more hardcore activist in his place in Tulung Agung now, cleaning every day, in his,
Wow.
supporting the people, making the Idul Adha, the Kurban ceremony, less plastic. So actually, anyone could be an activist. It's not exclusively NGO world, but anyone if they care enough. So this is actually what he's doing is become
That's right. It's really changing
inspiration
just
now.
one person point of view and how they think. And hopefully with that one person, he's going to spread more awareness to other people, right, Ada?
Yes. Good to know, Luisa.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that, Robbie.
Thank you for sharing that, Robbie. And perhaps I want to ask a further question regarding you as a co-creator to this documentary. Can you take us further behind the scene? Was there any certain location or site where you see that, wow, I mean, the plastic waste was really, really bad beyond your imagination? Was there that kind of experience when you created this movie?
Oh yeah, okay. It's actually a lot. Most of the rivers in Indonesia is polluted. Maybe it's it's quite famous. Citarum is one of the most polluted river in the world, and also in but actually the fact that is break my heart is when I visit Desa Bangun in East Java, where all the imported plastic, because it's like a developed country like America, Europe, or Australia, they do separation collection in the community level. But when they have to do the recycle, most of the uh, big country don't want to do that because it's expensive, it's polluting, it's difficult to do recycle. So that's why they exported this ready to recycle plastic into the place like Malaysia, Filipina, and Indonesia. Indonesia, one of the center of this dump, imported plastic ready to recycle, is in this village. And then when we visit this village, everything like air quality, even some researcher that we work together make a research eggs in the eggs of the chicken in from that village is already contaminated dioxin because of the level of the microplastic and then plastic pollution from that era. And I believe it's not just one place in Indonesia. A lot of places in Indonesia is like this. So yeah, it's quite like a sad. And then personally, break my heart. But yeah, we hope everybody can understand that single-use plastic and then how we abuse. We're not anti-plastic, but the way that we abuse the single-use plastic is quite. It can take it for granted right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. You see, like people don't
Yes.
really see where this plastic piles up. We only use it once and then we just throw it, but people don't see
Yeah.
Yes.
where it ends up until you created this documentary, of course, which is a good awareness for people.
So thank you for sharing that, Robbie and Andre. And I want to ask Andre, as a co-producer of Pulau Plastik documentary, if I were a newbie in movie documentary making, what steps or what points that I should prep first before I were to make a documentary? Andre, what do you prep first when you're making
Yes.
Pulau Plastik? Go ahead.
It's a very good question. So there's two things that I believe before you start. Make sure your message is clear. So because movie, music, art is only the medium, but the core message is real. So make sure your message is clear. And second is try to collaborate with the expert, what we call that. The expert means someone or organization that already being involved with the things that going to support your message itself. So there's two things right now. If everyone wants to try to make a documentary filmmaking more about the environment issue, I think make sure the message is clear. Second, let's do collaborate with all the organization or the community that already, you know, being focused on that area. I think that's the personal thought and tips.
Okay, great to know. The message should be clear and collaborate, open to collaborate. Okay. Any
Yeah.
other else, Lisa?
Yeah, well, Andre, this documentary has been out for around 2 years now, since 2021. Did the documentary meet your initial expectation? And how was the review after this documentary was out? Did it meet what you expected it to achieve?
Yeah, I think we still have a lot of homework to deal with because, like I said before, this movie is it's become a part of the social movement according to the tackle the issue about the single-use plastic. But the more important things is according to the achieve that already being made by this movie. There's a lot for the Bali itself. I mean, there's a lot of local initiative that already make sure that we have a lot of resources to change or to make an alternative packaging to tackle the single-use plastic is being more wider and wider. So there's one issue, and there's one initiative that we in Bali, because me and Robbie Rata in Bali, and Bali as a part of the Indonesia biggest tourism sector, I think we should reconsider again what we use because we believe in karma pala, what we call here. Karma pala is, it's consequences from our act. And already a lot of people who think that they using a very, very environment material for, food packaging and, Bali is a day of ceremonial and we're trying to push to the community in Bali to not using single-use plastic, kantong kresek, what we call plastic bags, and change it to the, we have a lot of resources. We have bamboo, we have banana leaf, and many other things. So yeah, I think we still have a lot of homework to make this sound not only in Bali but along Indonesia. And other than that, we very optimistic that we getting there to make an initiative to not using again single-use plastic getting bigger and bigger again. We're very optimistic, but we still have a lot of challenge and homework.
A lot of homework.
Yes, thank you so much for the message. And lastly, I want to ask Robbie, during this International Plastic Free Day, any parting words from you, Robbie, in this International Plastic Free Day? Go ahead.
Yeah, actually related to the film industry, yeah, Indonesia is like a really big industry, film industry. So, and also Indonesia is facing lots of environmental issues, which is actually plastic one of them. But every environmental issue is actually integrated with the policy, with the pollution, with the climate change, with the quality of the food. A lot of topic that can be brought in the documentary film in Indonesia. So I will invite all the cineasts or this big industry of not only film but also other art to we do what we love, what passion we love making film, we love making art, we love making music. But please put what we care for the human, care for the nature, and care for the future. And then we combine what we love, our passion, and then we combine what we care. It can be a powerful media, and then more adding the value to the platform itself. So I challenge the film industry in Indonesia. Hey, let's make something that not only aesthetically, not only the art is not just only thinking about aesthetic, but also carry a value. This tree caring, like a caring for the human, caring for the nature, and caring for the future. So yeah, we already have topic, we already have resources, we already have the industry. So do what we love, but do it with care.
Alrighty, thank you for the chat. Andre as a co-producer of Pulau Plastik and also Robbie as the co-creator of Pulau Plastik. Thank you for being here on Starting Point. And for Robbie, congratulations on your single Cinta Yang Tak Biasa with Nafikula Band. So we love it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day in wherever you are in the world.